मुंबई से सीधा लद्दाख, बीच में कुछ
Mumbai
नहीं.
se Ladakh, yeah.
Pune marathon, Chennai marathon, none of that. सीधे Ladakh.
No, not really. So it was my first marathon.
But I
did
haven't,
in
I mean, I've really not heard of the Ladakh marathon. Was it very popular when you did it, or you were like one of the 10 people running there?
No, 2015 when I did, it wasn't that popular.
Yeah.
There were very few participants, I
Yeah.
suppose. I think there are hardly any members as compared to Pune and Mumbai.
Yeah.
But it was a wonderful experience. I'd been to Ladakh before, so 2013.
Bike pe gaye the.
Yeah. So that's the time I went there as a tourist.
Yeah.
That was my first journey to Ladakh.
Yeah.
And after that, I've been going every year.
Acha.
Maybe twice or thrice, but I've been going every year.
Acha.
So that's how the journey started about running.
So we'll come to the more serious aspect where you've really made a name for yourself. Like you're the only Indian who has done the La Ultra 555. So 555 पहले बात करेंगे, फिर 30. I think the 333 was a big landmark for you. So it's a very important milestone for you there as well. But 555 just stands out because you're the only one we can meet in India.
According to me, every run has played an important role because I've been learning from this every event.
Acha.
I always do that. I always analyze my event and then I try to learn something from that. I still remember my first 15 kilometers, my first marathon, first ultra. So
let me dial back a bit. When you did your first Leh marathon, now I have been to Leh 4-5 times. I've always ridden a motorcycle, and yet every time I go, everybody will give you this advice. First day kuch mat karna, acclimatize hona hai, running out of breath is a very common thing. Headache aayega to wo Diamox goli lena hai and all. Now you decided to do a physical event in Leh. So what advices were you getting going up there, and did you really prep for that thing? What was that process for the first time? Let's understand that, because I think that's your stepping stone into the bigger races. So what was the prep going on?
I'll tell you, Himalaya, you've been there 4-5 times.
Yeah.
So why did you go there again and again? Because that's what Himalaya does to you.
Yeah.
It always calls you back.
Yeah.
It never happens that somebody goes to Himalaya and he says, now I'm not going to come back to Himalaya. It never happens that way. Acclimatization, Diamox, all those things, this is reality. But I feel, I just love to be there because those mountains, mighty mountains, gives you energy.
Yeah.
And I feel that, you don't cross mountains.
Yeah.
There's a saying, very important, and I follow that, strictly follow that, because you don't cross mountains, they allow you to pass them.
Achha.
So when you go there and you surrender yourself to those mountains going to take you to whatever you want to do. They will give you that energy to do it. The moment you go there with the attitude, boss, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, with timing, then the Khadungla will just throw you back. So you go there, surrender yourself, and just be in the mountains. What I liked about running in Ladakh was you're there in that beautiful sky, the full open sky. You're running at 15,000, 16,000 feet.
Right.
You're just by yourself. Right. And it's a wonderful feel.
Yeah.
Because these activities, 333, 111, 555, you don't have many athletes. There are hardly any participants.
Correct.
But then there's a feel of you're running in Himalaya, you're doing the cruelest marathon of the world. And that gives me energy to be there. And Himalayas taught me difference between listening and hearing.
Achha.
I always say that, you must listen to people. And Himalaya always gives me a reality check. The moment I land at Leh airport, it gives me a reality check. Boss, Pune, Bombay, you are whatever, you are a champion. But when you're in Ladakh, you are in front of those mountains, in front of that wonderful nature.
But yet, I mean, just to recollect back to those first marathon, what was your prep? Just so that I don't want somebody to just get up and say, hey, I've taken inspiration from Ashish. Let me start running at the moment I land in Ladakh. So what were you doing for your first? And I believe you are an exception. So none of us should emulate you any which ways. We should find our ways of surrendering to the mountains.
Absolutely. I always say it's not only about running, but we should not copy anybody. I always feel that way. I always tell the children also. Because if they see some footballer doing some weird haircut and he wants to do that, I said, don't do that. Why you want to copy him? You make your name. You create your own story. That is more important. So a similar way, everybody should have their own story.
Right.
It can be like, I know a friend who's done an Everest marathon for the first time. So that's something different he did. So whatever everybody likes, it is important. So important is to take a decision to go for it. Very important.
Acha.
You have to choose love over fear. That is very, very important. Otherwise, if we keep on discussing about things, अरे ये करना है, वो करना है, nothing happens. You have to take a step to go for it.